Bryce, what did you feel like you could build upon from the Jets? We've talked about the offensive line, obviously, but what was there that you felt like you could build on from?
Yeah, I think there was, good communication. I think, obviously we had more Emmys than we want, but I think operation-wise and as far as understanding alignment, assignment, there's stuff for us to clean up for sure. But I thought, from that standpoint, I think there were positives there that, we want to keep continuing to build off of. So again, you have to take it in stride, whether it's, with the preseason games, with the practices now, practices, Spartanburg, whatever it is, there's always good and bad. And, we got to, the stuff that we did, we can build on. We got to keep doing that, and the stuff we got to get corrected. We're working day in and day out to do that.
Bryce, what did you learn from that game about yourself, and what do you hope to improve on in this new one specifically?
It was just a unique opportunity, for me being, that first kind of, being able to play in the first NFL game. It's a preseason game, but still, just getting your first live full team snap. So that was great. That was fun. And then there's a myriad of things that I want to improve on as an individual. Us as a unit want to improve on. Just better operation, obviously better execution for myself. First and foremost, us as a unit, as a team, want to execute better. But again, that's a day-by-day process. We try to approach every day with the 0-0 mindset. So, every day we're looking at the film from the day before, and this week looking at the film on, from Saturday, and seeing the stuff that we can do a better job in executing on. And then I'm just doing all I can to listen to my coaches and teammates to try to do that.
How does Frank talked about the exotic blitzes that Wink will bring, even in a preseason game? How is that a challenge, but also an opportunity to pop some big plays?
Yeah, like you said, I think it's definitely an opportunity as far as just us being able to see different stuff, see unique stuff. That's you're going to get different coordinators with different mindsets, different philosophies, different schemes. So this being a scheme that like you said, brings a lot in, and there's a lot of pressures, a lot of blitz, a lot of different looks. I think it's a great opportunity for us to go out and see how we fare. We have doing everything we can to account for those, to figure out how we can try to take advantage of it, all this stuff like that. So I think for us, we're just really looking at it as an opportunity to see a bunch of stuff, see, like you said, there's a lot of exotic stuff. So, just see it, and then, for us to get it on tape, to learn from it, to grow. So, we understand the challenge it presents for sure, and we're going to do everything we can to try to handle it accordingly.
I know you don't want to like thrust your leadership upon anybody because you're still kind of feeling it out. But how important is it to keep spirits high on the sideline when things aren't typically going your way?
Yeah, I think that, again, that's not just me, but us as a team and a coaching staff. Everyone wanting to figure out, we're competitors. And, when every time a play doesn't go right, a series, a drive, whatever it may be, of course you're not happy. You're mad because you want to be successful on every play, but obviously that's not the sport we play. So, I think for us it's all about turning it around and how can we be constructive. There's going to be emotions. We're competitive, so we're going to be, we're not going to be happy or be content with not having success. But how do we harbor that into something that's constructive? Getting back, whether that's being focused, keeping the spirits up, whatever that may be. And me and again everyone on the coaching staff and on the team are just trying to figure out in that scenario, what's necessary, what's the best, path to get us back to where we want to be. So I think it's just trying to navigate that on a case-by-case basis.
When you went back and looked at the film, those 2 third-down throws you had, can you tell us what happened on those, what went wrong on those?
Yeah, just didn't execute on those. And again, that's on me. That's my fault. I have you have opportunity. That's how it is. So it's on me to get the ball to the right guys, to get in the right spot. So I have to get better at that.
You get a lot of reps in practice, but they're against your own guys. You're limited when you play in these preseason games. How does that affect what you're able to evaluate about yourself as you go through this process?
I think that there's opportunity going against our defense as well that I get to evaluate, and try to grow and learn. So, it may, again, it's different looks. It's a different, we're in training camp mode still, so it's a different formula than the season's going to have. But, at the same time, for me, I feel like there's, every scenario I feel like I can grow from, I can learn from, and I'm looking at the film, whether it's against our defense, whether, we're talking about, the Giants this week or whatever it may be, and figuring out ways to grow and to learn. And I feel like there's so much room for that for me. Whatever it is that I'm doing or watching, I still feel that capability to grow.
Bryce, obviously, in the SEC, the game is very fast. Have you noticed in the NFL, though, with it being a little faster? And how do you go about slowing the game down for yourself in the pocket?
Yeah, I think I think it's just all trying to get mastery of the mental side of the game, from our playbook, then to trying to decipher what the defense is doing. And I think that's something that's been consistent at each level that I played in. The more comfortability and mastery you have of the X's and O's and figuring out where people are going is supposed to be, and that becoming second nature, I think that's what allows things to happen more smoothly and more efficiently. So I think I've grown in that standpoint definitely since I've been here, but definitely there's a lot more growth that I want to continue to have. So again, I think that's a day-to-day process for me.
Has the offensive line responded adequately since Friday, would you say?
I think,
Saturday, excuse me.
yeah, I think we're all competitors. As a unit, as a group, we all looked at, the result of what happened, and, we're watching the film. And again, that's not who we want to be. That's not what we want to put on tape. So I think, they have, just like I have, just like the running backs, receivers, tight ends, defense, everyone as a team, we've all looked in the mirror. We've all responded. And I think we've all, we had to learn from the tape. It's, it's not great tape you want to watch, but you have to go watch it, learn from it. And then, I think throughout the week, we've definitely had that mindset of wanting to improve, want to be better. So I think that's been something that's been universal throughout the team.
Bryce, you guys have been back in Charlotte now for about a week. Is this city starting to feel like home to you, and why?
Yeah, for sure. Being able to be here, I think it's just, first and foremost, I think the people, the fan base and just the environment, the people of the city of Charlotte have just been, it's been really humbling for me just how welcoming everyone's been, and the love and the warm reception I've been able to have, whether it's Panthers related or just out and about. And, I'm really grateful for that. And, just learning more about the city, talking to all the guys, figuring out where they live and where they go. And now with that, you learn different areas and where everything's at. And, I'm still in that process, but again, it's been great being here. It's definitely is feeling like home. And again, I think a big credit to that just goes to the people of the city. And, I'm really grateful for that.
I think when we've asked you about that before, you said, well, you gotta give me a chance. I don't know what I think. So have you developed a routine? Do you have any favorite stuff? I mean, kind of give us a peek into.
Yeah, I'm still, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still, we're about a week now, I want to say, about a week now in. So, and then with the training camp schedule, a lot of time is being spent here. So right now, a big part of the routine is when I go back to, where I live, go and sleep. That's really been, eat and sleep has really been kind of all that I've had time for. And a lot of the meals have come from here too. So I'm still trying to figure that out, especially being in training camp mode.
Have you gotten a chance to scope out I know you're a basketball player. Have you gotten a chance to scope out the other hoopers on the team? I've just through conversation. There's a lot of bold statements being made within the locker room. It's season, so now is not necessarily the time to figure it out. But everyone's so confident. Everyone has so much. It's a great time to talk right now because we're not going to find out for however long. But yeah, everyone now that it's not we're not just going to run. Everyone loves to proclaim they're the best basketball player on planet Earth. So eventually a time will come where I'll have to find out.
Have you seen any of the videos of Josh playing basketball, and does he talk?
Yeah, no, I've shot around with him, and you could tell like when someone can definitely can play. And I could tell I've shot around with him. I've been able to see some things he could do. He's crazy athletic to this day, like crazy. And also I have a lot of people that I know that have accounts, so I know Josh could hoop for sure.
What does a game look like, or after a game look like for you? Like, when do you start diving into the film? Is it as soon as you get home, do you kind of take a mental break and come back to it the next morning? What's that look like?
Yeah, for me, after games, for me, my routine has just been to take a little break and take a little time away. Again, training camp is kind of a weird time where right now it's not, again, these are games and we want to win, and we want, we always want to go out and be we're competitors. We always want to win. But it's just the scheduling of it is a little different. So it feels more of like immediate, I'm trying to learn from this and I want to grow and watch stuff. And, that's kind of been, again, just because it's been training camp, that's kind of been the mindset of just immediately wanting to learn. But for games, for me, when that happens, we have normal weeks of, your game planning from the first, right after that day, right after the game, your game planning right when you walk to the building, and then you're super locked in on a plan and watching all this stuff. And I typically tend to, that day, kind of disconnect and take the rest of the day, however, whether it's a night game or whatever it is, kind of take the rest of that day to kind of, not think about it, because then you'd have to reset to the next opponent. So typically my routine is kind of for that rest of that day, kind of just, let it go, kind of take time to detach a little bit, and then that next day is when, you lock back in and, you're starting it all over. So that's normally my routine kind of when it starts for season.
Right, I asked you about the tight ends 3 weeks ago, and you said it would be huge to this offense. What have you learned about that group, since then, and how are they helping you become better?
Yeah, first really the biggest thing that stands out is competitors, guys that want to be great, or guys that are asking, we're having a bunch of dialogue, having questions about, oh, I've ran it like this, I like this, what do you like, what do you see, how do you see about this, a lot of conversation within reps. And I feel like for me, especially as a quarterback, you want guys that want to think through the game and want to not just, and I'm blessed to have a group full of guys here, tight ends, receivers, and running backs that all think like that, of not just, all right, I have a route, I'm going to run it, whatever, but trying to figure out the nuances. And, the tight end group definitely epitomizes that. And, as well, just, taking pride in what they do. On the field, in the weight room, the meeting room, having pride in knowing assignment, alignment, making sure that we're having conversations. And, when things don't, when things in practice, you miss, right, it's not, there's no pointing fingers, there's no, whatever, like there's a sense of urgency of wanting to get things fixed, and that's definitely throughout the whole tight end room. And having guys like that for me, and I've asked those guys a lot of questions too of what they've done in the past, how they feel comfortable about certain routes or certain checks, whatever it may be. So I think that's definitely pushed me to grow as well.
Does it make it easier though for you? I mean, the big target, the mismatch, and all that just sort of cliche, but is that all true?
No, 100%. Again, when you have a guy that, tight ends in general, and especially the tight ends we have, they create a lot of mismatches. There's a lot of, we have guys that can, that are powerful and strong and great in the run game, but also can go out and run routes. And, you have to figure out how are you going to guard that? Who are you going to use to guard that, in specific coverages? And, I think, again, that's going to be something that we want to, take advantage of throughout the season. And again, I know we have the guys to do so. So I trust the coaching staff and the plans that we create throughout going throughout the year. But again, it definitely does create a lot of problems for, the opposing side. So I'm super excited for that.
Bryce, I know it's the preseason, and Frank said he doesn't get all wrapped up in preseason scores, but would it be nice for you to go out there Friday and, put some points on the board?
Of course. I mean, we never break the huddle or go out there like, yeah, let's not score. That's always the goal. And, again, Coach Reich and the coaching staff, they have a plan. They have a reason for everything. All the calls, what we go into things with, everything, it's calculated. It's not by accident. So I trust them. We all trust them as a team. But, again, we're competitors at the end of the day. So there's no excuse of, what's going on, what the, that's for, again, the coaches that worry about and have a plan for us. For us, between the lines, we want to compete. We want to win. And, again, we don't win every rep. Things aren't always going to go 100% to plan. But, 100% every time we go out there, we want to score. We want to be successful in every play we call. Again, that's just a competitive spirit we have.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.